Okay, guys. This is just gonna try. Oh, I'm gonna try and make this the condensed version of my review because I just realized I was talking for like an hour in my last one. Maybe not an hour, but like 15 minutes anyway. So it's pretty close to an hour. So we're gonna try and shrink this one down as much as possible, and I'm gonna have a longer review and a shorter review, and whichever one you want to look at is up to you. So I got some notes here that I'm going to kind of run through real quick. Just want to make sure I can see everything here. So if you basically don't want to miss anything, you can check out the longer review. If you don't have that much of an attention span, which a lot of people don't, and I'm one of them, but I try and watch the longer reviews too, because you never know what you miss. Yeah, so you can watch this one. First plus, it's all metal, everything, except for, not everything, but except for these pieces here, these two stone holders, and this little piece right here. Other than that, the entire system is all metal, which is a great plus in my mind. I've had systems that have plastic, or mostly made of plastic, and they break. Oh, excuse me. It's just my experience. Because you move these things around a lot. Like, I put this thing away every time I'm done with it, so I don't have a dedicated spot just to leave it. Well, I kind of do, but, or I could, I should say, but I don't. Because I have other hobbies that I like to do, and I want them in that space. Okay, and the first major plus I find in this thing is it comes with the 3-point system. So you can take your knife here. It doesn't matter what you got. You can put it on here. You can lock her down. Push this up. And let's say right about there. Whoop. It's really weird when I'm trying to let you guys see everything I do, but roughly let's say like that. Wouldn't sharpen it like this. But. And then you put it back in the same position on the other side. You just got to remember. Like what I try and do is I try and line it up with this choil mark here. And then you're butted up in the same position every time. Just hit it with the side of that. Hit it with the, push it up against the side here every time. So I know it's in the same position every time I put it in there. And because of this piece here, you're soaking up that notch in there, and it just pushes it the same position every time. I'm going to stop using that. Even though it's my user, I can scratch the crap out of it because I don't have any tape on here. I'll use this one. This is a good old Gamzo. But yeah, as you can see here, this one actually shows it a little bit better, the groove in here, and then you want to twist it up and pull it out. I'm trying not to take too much time here, but that's kind of important because if you try and manhandle it like this, you're going to bang into here and get this all out of whack. So twist, pull, out. But yeah, and then when you put it on the other side, I just push it up against the stop here. You can tell this knife's had a rough life. I even have hit this a few times. It's a thumb stud, but me, it's a cheap knife. Doesn't matter. Great knife though, at least in my opinion. Everybody's got them. Like 440, and it's pretty smooth for what it is. But yeah, anyway, 3-point system is great. Love that thing. You also have the blade rest, which you need for actually this knife. So throw this in real quick. So say you got this knife in. I actually set it up pretty good this time. It's not doing it. Usually, if you have this knife in a little farther, it'll rock like this when you push down on it. But because I have it further towards the edge today, it's not doing that. So usually what you want to do is you want to slide that blade rest up against there and then push down on it. It can't move. But today, because it's so far out, it doesn't need it. yeah, so there's that. This thing is a huge plus. So this and this are major pluses. Quick side note: this guy right here, the blade support piece is $10 extra. So it's a couple bucks, but it's worth it. It comes with all the hardware you need for it. There's 2 screws that go in through a piece of angle iron on the bottom here. And you got this little piece that slides up and down, the thumb screw here. Also, you try and buy the thumb screw and everything like that, you're going to get a couple bucks in anyway, so you're better off just getting the real piece that they make and dealing with that. And so it's worth a couple dollars for asking for it. So there's that. And what else have we got? I'm trying to think here. I'll look at my thing here. Okay, and you got the adjustable stone holder. Go lay down, Lila. Sorry, that's my dog trying to go outside. It's really late anyway, so she can just lay down. I'll let her out when I'm done. But this is the adjustable stone holder, like I was saying. You can go up to around 6-inch stones for the Edge Pro. It's got the cutaways for the Edge Pro style stones. It has the grooves for KME style stones, or larger Veneve stones. These are Veneve stones. So if you have stones from, say, a KME or an Edge Pro or something like that, you can reuse them with this system. You don't need to buy new ones. These don't come with stones, but like say you're on a budget or you don't know what kind of stones you want to invest in, I honestly recommend you look into these Veneve dog stones. They're $15 for a set of 2. Diamond composite stones, can't go wrong. At the very least, they're great to test out the Veneve diamond composite stones to see whether you like them. Invest in the higher quality ones. I think these may use the new composition now too, but some of them don't. It all depends on which adhesive or whatever. I'm trying to remember what you call it. I lost the word at the moment, but the bonding agent, whether it's abrasive or not, one's harder than the other. One is slightly more abrasive than the one they use for their higher grit stuff. So there's that. Bouncing around a little bit here. So the stones. Yeah, you got your stone holder here, and it's got the magnetic base here for your angle cube, so you can measure your angles. You got your bump stops here. Helps if you actually tighten them, but yeah, you got your bump stops so you can't bang into the edge of your knife or fall off your knife with it. You just boom, 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 and not have to worry about falling off the knife and scratching it or banging up your edge. You don't really have to worry about your hand hitting the knife either, but usually the way you're holding it, you're not going to get your fingers near there anyway. The other quick thing to note is the parking brake, which I've been using the whole time here. That is really nice to have on there. Honestly, kind of surprised some systems don't have it. Anyway, yeah. What else we got? And these move out for larger blades. So if you got something that's like a thinner kitchen knife or chef's knife or fillet knife or something like that, you'd have nice support for it. It wouldn't be able to bend too much. Like if you're trying to just balance it on a smaller section. So there's that. That's definitely a plus. What else we got? The micro adjust / thickness compensator. Works great. So say we're thickness compensating here. You just drop her down to there, roughly. I haven't actually got it lined up right, so it's not gonna. There we go. There we go, and then you slide it out. Say you grab something thinner or thicker. This is a touch thicker. So what you do is you redo it, apparently. Because I didn't tighten it enough. That's hilarious. Yeah, what do you do, huh? Sometimes you screw up. Sometimes it's while the camera's on. Alright, there we go. Now I actually tightened it this time. Both of them. And this one's pretty much the same size, so that's why I was having difficulties. We'll use this one. It's a different size. It's a little thinner because I used a thinner piece of leather here, so there are two different thicknesses. So then you crack it like that, and then now this would be set up over here for that, for this size. And then the same scenario if you want to just do it in reverse. If you want to get thicker edge, you just leave it tightened up to this and yeah, reverse it. Yeah, so there's that. So we covered these guys, your bump stops, they're adjustable. You just got to make sure you have them tight. And honestly, for the first little while, it takes a little while for them to break in. And right now, I tried oiling the rod here. It makes a little bit of noise and you're moving it back and forth without even having a sharpening stone on a knife. It sounds like you're sharpening. So I dropped a little bit of oil on there to see if it would quiet it down, but it doesn't, just so you guys know about that. And that's why mine are, I have to crank them a little bit more than I normally would. See, now it's fine. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. The magnets are basically so strong that you don't even have to hold the knife when you're sharpening it. Like, I'm sure you guys heard that. Like, the blade is flexing when I'm trying to pull it off. That's how sharp it is. So there's that. What else do we need to cover here? The handle's really nice and comfortable. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that already. What else we got? Yeah, long rod reach here. Go back so you guys can see it more. Probably could from where I had it already, but I just want to make sure you can see it all. This has some serious reach to it, especially if you break it open. Like, you'd be able to come away with your sharpening, but you'd have to have a pretty solid blade to be able to reach all the way out there or all the way out here. But mostly it's nice for like a butcher knife or whatever, whereas you've got that really long rake to it, and then you got the edge at the end. So there's that. Yeah, so there's that, like I was saying. So what else have we got? And there's the fact that it's modular. The modular aspect of it is really nice. You got the R2 clamping setup that you can put in here just by undoing these two screws. You don't even have to take them out. You just loosen them off and it pulls right out, and you slap the clamping unit on with the rotating mechanism on it. That's really nice because you don't have to buy this whole setup again. It's a lot cheaper just to get that clamp set up. What else we got? The scissor attachment / chisel, I think, also. Chisel attachment. I'm sharpening your woodworking chisels. Stuff like that. That's a huge plus, being able to, like, you know, it's nice. It's nice having some sharp kitchen shears or something like that. They also have a adapter for convex edges. while I'm on the topic of brain fart for a second there, of shears. It's because shears need a convex edge for the most part. Some probably aren't, but I think 99% of them are. So yeah, there's that. And there's probably more that I'm not thinking of from that perspective, but cons, we'll go by that real quick. One con is the 3-point system I was talking about so much. It has some slop in it. If you go watch my other video on my channel about this setup here, it has a bit of slop in it from the factory. And I'll make sure this is out of your way here. But yeah, it has a little bit of slop in it from the factory. I got some shims in here and a little bit of debit card or whatever from the little shim I cut out. Took like 3 seconds, and that took all the slop out of the center here, and that alone made a big difference. So if you have this system, just shove little pieces of card in there, and it'll help a lot. Now here I 3D printed something and put it in there to absorb some of the slop, and in all honesty, it helped a lot. But as you can see, I still have a little bit of movement. It's not as much up here because I have this pin down here. But yeah, if they put 3 pins across, by the time you got up here, especially if they made like a sleeve to go around here, or just machined this a little bit less on either side, even, it would take out a lot of the slop. I sent my video to them and they're looking at it, so you never know, maybe they'll make a revision, or maybe the next setup will be improved. Yeah, so there's that. So basically all you really need to do is just pinch right here. And if you look at the seam right here, you'll be able to tell whether it's off kilter or not. So, and also if you just pinch it and you slide down, it stays nice and centered. It's just a little hack, and then you don't have to worry about these 3D printed things. If you want them, let me know in the comments. I'll see what I can do for you. So yeah, there's that. In all honesty, it's not a big deal. You just pinch and move your setup here. You'll be able to tell if you're lined up or not, because like I said, right down here you can see if there's a lip or not. If it's off, you'll be able to catch your nail on there and stuff like that. So there's that. Yeah, and there's also the fact that I was talking about the guide rod being a nice thing. It's also a bad thing because of how long it is. In my opinion, it's not a big deal, but I've seen reviews where they complained about it, so I'm going to mention it. It is kind of long. I'm not going to lie about it. It is fairly long, but I like that. I find it to be a plus personally, so I'm happy about it. But it does make the system a bit longer. But if you compare it to like an Edge Pro or something, or not an Edge Pro, even an Edge Pro, it's not really that much bigger in footprint, maybe a few inches, like 2. And then you got to factor in like Wicked Edge. My Wicked Edge was like probably really, really, really close to the same size. Probably shouldn't be saying stuff like that. But yeah, probably really, really close to the same size. It's very, very similar in size. And then you had the fact that it was deeper because you had the arms hanging off the side and stuff like that. I used to unscrew my arms because they just get in the way sometimes. Cramming it in places, and this I put in the same place, and I have an easier time putting this in the same place I put that. So if you have cabinets, cupboards, under a TV stand, wherever, you can shove this thing just about anywhere. You can leave it out if you want to. You could have a dedicated spot to it, but really it doesn't need that. You just need to watch out when you're sharpening something. Yeah, you go ahead of time and just check around yourself that you can't bump into anything. And do it once you adjust these, because you never know how much it's going to change if you're using a different stone or something than you normally would. So yeah, there's that. And try and compensate for smaller stones or larger stones while you're checking. So there's that. Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm just checking my notes here. System. Yeah, and when you're doing some heavy reprofiling, I found that the system can rock a little. It doesn't do it that dramatically. It's just because of this piece right here. They need another foot here. And basically, this piece right here sinks down and acts like another foot, and there's a foot in the middle. Now, Hapstone, if you guys, well, no, you'd still need one here and here, because this wouldn't get set up properly if there wasn't a foot here. So yeah, basically you need, you need 2 feet over here, because this acts as a foot. So that's why it doesn't rock this way, but it'll still rock this way. Yeah, so it's not dramatic. It's only when you're really trying to reprofile a knife in a hurry and you're going to town. Really, if you go like this or like this with a hand, like it doesn't even take much. Like just pretty much resting your hand there, it compensates for the fact that it doesn't have the foot here, because it's already pretty heavy, so it's pretty stable as it is. Like you can see how much it drops here. That's basically the thickness of the plate plus some, and it evens up for the footing. Well, it's not the thickness of the plate, but it's how much you need to have it spinning anyway. So yeah, there's that. Just trying to keep in mind. But that, you honestly can just fold up a piece of paper or something and just jam it under there. It'll be fine. You can get lots of little stick-on feet from the dollar store, but really, Hapstone, if you guys are seeing this, just drill and tap a hole and put a little foot there, and that issue will be no longer. Yeah, that's just one thing I noticed anyway. It's not the end of the world, because, like I said, it's very rare you're really going to town that hard. And it only happened to me a few times. So, in all honesty, it's not a big deal. And if you do find it a problem with you, you can just put a little shim under here. You don't need me to tell you that. You can figure it out on your own, but it's there. But yeah, other than that, that's it. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to be doing some sharpening videos on this thing. If you haven't used this style of system before, I'll run through a few tips and tricks about it as I go. Explain why I'm doing what I'm doing to the best I can. You guys can ask questions, I'll answer them, that type of thing. If you have any questions, let me know. Like, share, comment, subscribe, that type of thing. This channel's fairly new in comparison to some of my other ones, or my other one, I should say. So I'm trying to get it to grow a little. Any sort of thing you can do, like I said, like, share, subscribe, it helps. And I'll try and keep doing what I'm doing and let you guys see some systems and some sharpening comparisons. Just so you guys can see size-wise, this is a Work Sharp Precision Adjust right here. Here you go. There you go. Now, I'm not sure if I covered it, but like one main plus to this thing is because of that 3-point system, you can throw a knife on, then you can take it off, and you can look at it. You can see how everything's doing, make sure everything's good. You got your burr all the way down. Say you want to inspect it to make sure you got all the marker all the way off, or see if you're missing any of those, pesky little scratches in between, like the coarser grits and the finer grits, that can cause you issues when you're trying to do that mirror edge. That's one thing I really love about this style of system. So if you're thinking about this over a clamping system, that's one major advantage. And the fact that it can do full flat grounds without an issue, because you're laying on the flat, so it's fine. Yeah, and your other style knives you support with this if there's any issue with support. So yeah, there's that. And that should basically cover everything. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. It helps. Thanks.